Clemson coming off a 27-21 loss in overtime at North Carolina State. They've got 4-0 Boston College coming up. Any particular thoughts about DJ's play and how that's compared to previous weeks? Coming off just 111 yards passing in this one.
You know, that DJ's play was odd in this game, I thought. You know, he had a couple of drives where he looked like the DJ we saw last year. You know, the 2 touchdown drives. I mean, he rolled out to his right one time and just threw a laser to Justin Ross in the back of the end zone. I mean, he threw a couple of darts to Joseph Nagata on that touchdown drive, and one of them was dropped, but he hit him right in the hands with it. And he looked good on the scoring drive late too. But then the rest of the drives, you know, he's still holding on to the ball too long. He doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. His pocket presence not very good. He's locking on to his primary target too often, and it's just resulting in a lot of inconsistency. That's what I see from DJ right now. A lot of inconsistency. His mechanics aren't really good. His footwork looks off. I mean, he just looks like a raw quarterback prospect right now. He does not look like a fine-tuned 5-star guy.
He threw 26 passes. He probably went back to pass and had to run a number of times. So they probably called 30 to 32 passing plays, which they would have called a lot more, but they couldn't stay on the field, obviously, going almost 3 and out constantly. But Justin Ross is basically who he's locked in on. Now, that's either because Ross is obviously one of the best wide receivers in college football and probably open, but also I wonder if there's an issue with him just being locked in on Justin Ross.
You know, that's a good question because all offseason, you know, we heard Dabo Swinney on multiple occasions boast about how great these wide receivers were, probably the best he's ever had. And we've not seen that translate onto the field quite yet. You know, we saw Justin Ross make some plays the other day, but even he himself had a drop that probably would have tied up the game in overtime, in that double overtime there. I mean, he just dropped one. But, yeah, I totally agree with that. He is really locking on to Ross a lot of the times. I think only 2 other receivers caught passes in that game. And when you got a receiver room as deep as Clemson's, guys like E.J. Williams, Joseph Ngata, Frank Ladson, Takari Collins, Bo Collins, you got to try and get those guys involved somehow, even though, you know, Bo Collins had a big drop in that game too. But you got to try and get more than Justin Ross involved. And Saturday, it was him or nobody for the most part.
Clemson taking on Boston College, as they did 1 year ago when DJ had his coming out party, trailing 28-6 to bring him back to beat Boston College. This time BC is 4-0. Talking Clemson football, of course, with Jason Priester, as we do on a regular basis here at the Voice of College Football.